Good morning from Disturbia on the 12th of May. My name is Christine. I'm 60 years old this year. I have two YouTube channels, this one and another one called Psalm space 27. That is Psalm 27, but with a space between Psalm and 27. I started doing videos in 2016. I had a YouTube channel also called Psalm 27, which was deleted overnight. I had had several strikes and warnings, and then all of a sudden, I think it was around the 21st of April, my YouTube channel, Psalm 27, was removed, and I decided that I'd create a new. It was very frustrating for me because I had 2,000 videos, so I decided I would make a new channel, Psalm 27, and then do this channel as a backup. So the videos that are on this channel that have heretofore been uploaded to this channel are originating from Psalm 27, where I have very, very many more. And the reason why I do the videos, I started because I realized what was going on in the sky. I realized that we were being gassed to death. It's electromagnetic conducting energy that is heating the atmosphere and nothing else. What they spray, the nanoparticulates, are metals. They're jolted through with electricity and electromagnetic, I should say, because you can actually feel the magnetism on your body. If you just close your eyes when you're out in the sun, you feel it. It's a horrible feel, especially on your head. And that's the highest point. And that's where the metal, heavy metal, is being drawn to through the magnets that are the magnetism that is being put into the atmosphere. And around that time, actually a little bit before I had started reading the Bible, I've been a Christian since I was 15. That means that I believed in the Messiah, Jesus Christ. I believed spontaneously. When somebody told me her testimony, I believed, but that was only after years of having been prepared for it. I do believe by the Holy Spirit. Looking back, I can say that at the moment I did not know. The problem was that I was not taught. I had a Bible, but I had a KJV Bible that was given me when I was 12. And I tried reading it, but I couldn't understand it. The teaching was miserable. And along about the time when I was around 47 years old, I feel like God really began to intercept in my life and change me how I was. I had been divorced and I had a boyfriend, and it was a horrible situation, but I felt trapped and I couldn't get out of it. But all of a sudden, God galvanized my energy and He helped me change. He helped me learn. He helped me read the Bible. He helped me get rid of that boyfriend that was no good for me. He even helped me understand a lot of what I was reading. At first, what I did was I just started reading Genesis to Malachi and back and forth and back and forth, because I had read quite a bit of the New Testament, except I think Revelation. I didn't read Revelation much, but I read all of Paul, Peter, and all the other epistles. I didn't really read the Gospels very much, or Acts, because I did not understand what was going on. And my main problem was, for example now, if you read the book of Romans, where Paul is talking about the Jew first and also the Greek. I got very confused when reading the Gospels about what was going on, particularly in light of the teaching that the Jews are the chosen people. That just did not, I went into a complete disconnect. The Jew, the Greek, the Jews are the chosen people. They crucified the Messiah. No, it wasn't. It was Pilate. What was really going on there? So when I started reading the Bible from Genesis, I really feel that God gave me some breakthroughs and I understood some things. For example, I understood that the Messiah is of Ephraim. Jacob said that Ephraim was his firstborn. I do believe that Jacob adopted and integrated Ephraim and Manasseh because Simeon and Levi have been deleted. I know that's going to raise a lot of hairs on the back of your neck, but if you read Genesis 48 and Genesis 49, mostly 49, where Jacob goes through the blessings of his children, you will see that Simeon and Levi were very, very cruel. And, I mean, Judah was also really the ringleader, he who sold his brother Joseph into slavery. But I do believe, and he says expressly, Jacob does, about Simeon and Levi, they will be scattered and divided. And to me, that sounds like over time, their seed is going to be diminished. Now, if you actually go through the whole Old Testament and read what Simeon did, what Levi did not have an inheritance. He did not inherit any land, so there was a big problem with him, which is laid out for us by Jacob Israel, why that was. You might say, well, they're included in Revelation 7, they're included in Ezekiel. I understand that. But what I'm trying to say is that I believe that these two sons of Joseph were put in front of all the others, and it does say that Simeon and Levi will be scattered and divided. There may be a remnant left. We will just have to wait and see. Maybe they will have been rehabilitated in the process of time through refinement, which is what God is doing with the seed of Israel. The seed of Israel has not disappeared. You're going to be told by the so-called church that the church has replaced Israel. Nowhere is that in the Bible. Nowhere, except maybe Paul. But you see, you have to always go through line upon line, precept upon precept, and see if what you're being told makes sense. And in some ways, I really feel like the apostle, so-called apostle Paul, who was not even a disciple, is a counterfeit. Maybe he's not. Some things that he did write make sense. Some things that he wrote do not make sense. For example, not all Israel will be saved. All Israel will be saved when the fullness of the Gentile be come in. Partial blindness, on and on. It just doesn't make any sense. For example, calling Esau a Jew, and that's another thing I learned when I read the Bible, because I always wondered, how can it be that the chosen people are Antichrist? And then you always get the answer, they will look upon whom they have pierced. Yes, but when you read the Bible, when you read John, you see that the Roman soldiers looked upon whom they had pierced. And some of them realized that indeed that was the Son of God that had been crucified, that they crucified. So I realized that when I read Obadiah, when I read Malachi, I started in Genesis, of course, and I realized that God, it says there expressly, Esau will go after his brother with a sword. Who's going after whom with a sword? Who is Antichrist? The children of Jacob or the children of Esau? Read Obadiah. It is one chapter. Read Ezekiel 25, starting at around 12, I think it is. Read Ezekiel 35, read Ezekiel 36. You will see that Israel was a kingdom of 10 tribes. And then there was Judah, which had absorbed Simeon and some of the Levites. Was called the tribe, for example, in Samuel. And the Israelite tribes were taken into Assyrian captivity. And later on, the children of Judah were taken into Babylonian captivity. And according to Joel 3:6, After the Babylonian captivity, many of these children of Judah were sold to Greece. Joel 3:6. That is why in the New Testament we are told that there's a Jew first and the Greek. And then if you read John 12:20-24, you will be told that certain Greek men came to the Israelites and said, we would see Jesus. And as soon as they saw Jesus, and as soon as he saw them, he said, my mission is accomplished. It is time for the Son of Man to suffer. You see, he gathered the children of Israel and Judah in one. John 11:52, Ezekiel 37, Isaiah 11:11. Isaiah 11:11 talks about the second gathering, and I always wonder what was the first gathering. And then when I read John, I realized, lo and behold, that was the first gathering. You see, if you don't understand who's who in the Bible, you do not know what's what. That's why I always bristled when I was going to read a gospel, and I just avoided reading them because I didn't understand. Now, of course, I do. I know that Herod was an Edomite, a son of Esau, the synagogue of Satan. Their father is the devil. John 8:44. And Herod did not know where the Messiah was. Hence, probably the genealogies listed in Matthew and Luke are not correct. Why? Because they want to make you believe that the Messiah is of Judah, when in fact the Messiah is of Ephraim. Ephraim was the firstborn. First of all, Jacob the firstborn. Ephraim the firstborn. And before that, you had Isaac and Abraham. So you have Abraham, Isaac, Jacob, Joseph, Ephraim, David. And from the time of David, I don't even think they know. If Herod had known the lineage of the Messiah, he would have had that Messiah killed. Rather, because he did not know, he asked the wise men who went to worship, tell me where he is that I may worship him also. And when the wise men left without telling him where he was, Herod went on a rampage and started slaughtering the innocents, which I believe are the first fruits mentioned in Revelation 14. These are the innocents slaughtered under Pharaoh and under Herod. And so you have these two people. You have Israelites and Judah. They are different people. The Judahites were taken into Greece, and these people, in my opinion, became the Orthodox people. The Greeks, the people, some of the Yugoslavians, Russian, Ukraine. There are certain enclaves that an ethnic cleansing has been afoot. And this is the reason why under Bill Clinton and before that, World War I and II, you can watch The Sons of Herod, where you learn about the ethnic cleansing of the people of Judah. This is the reason. You will not be told the real reason. It's always about the Catholic and the Muslim. Who are the Catholics? Who are the Muslims? The Muslims are the children of Ishmael. Why are they Muslim? Because after the Messiah came, the children of Esau wanted to make sure that the word did not get disseminated. So they slaughtered first they slaughtered the Messiah, then they slaughtered the disciples. Then they went about a crusade. First of all, they had to go about writing this Quran. And then they went about disseminating it. And if you look up Ishmael is the broom of Esau, you will see that the children of Esau are using the children of Ishmael to liquidate the children of Jacob, Israel. Now, this Assyrian captivity of Israel, Assyria is Germany. And when I realized that from reading the Bible, it hinged on one name, which is Tiglath-Pileser, which was a king. This word Pileser is Pilsener, which is a German name. And there is a city called Pilsen, P-L-Z, and I'm not sure how you pronounce it in the Czech. But this must have been the headquarters, and this is what they used to call Bohemia. which is vis-a-vis Bavaria. And I believe that really Germany is Assyria, but also the tribe of Dan. It's kind of complicated, but I do believe that Germany does not represent Judah. There's so much to be told, but I do believe that Germany is Dan because you'll find inferences, you'll find references, and allusions to the fact that Dan is related to horses, ships, and alchemy. And Germany has it all. Germany was the home of the Third Reich. Germany will be home of the Fourth Reich, which it also says in Daniel, the fourth beast is Assyria. They do not want you to know this, the forces that should not be. That's why all eyes are on Russia. Russia's the bad guy. Russia's the king of the north. I do not believe so. I believe that Dan is Germany, the king of the north, Assyria. And it could very well be that Dan is in cahoots with Esau. Esau is also in cahoots with Rome. Rome is the Philistine. If you look in the Bible, you will see that the Philistines worship the fish god. If you look at Roman Catholicism, you will see that their meter is in the shape of a fish. Same people. If you look in Chronicles, you will see that, and not only Chronicles, but also in Amos and other parts of the Bible, I think it's mentioned 3 times that the Philistine is from Kaftor, which is Greece. That is why the Roman gods and the Greek gods are the same. And believe me, you're not going to learn this in church. And I'm not trying to say that I know everything, because I don't. When I first started this channel, I didn't really know that much, and I only did chemtrails. And then as God revealed to me, this is years ago when I had my first channel, which was Psalm 27, which was deleted in 2021. As God was revealing to me these things, which only He can do, He can shut your eyes and He can open them. That's what God does. And if you apply your heart unto wisdom, if you try, if you read the Bible and you ask God questions, He's always answered all of my questions, and even given me more that I didn't reckon with. So when the Israelites were carried off into Assyrian captivity by Assyria, which is the tribe of Dan, which became Germany later, which is Germany now, who went up there to eradicate the so-called Germans, but Caesar, who was a Roman Philistine. See, there's always been a great and old hatred between the Philistines, the Israelites, Esau, and Jacob. That is why when you find up to the crucifixion of Christ, Herod and Pilate became friends. What does that mean? It means that Esau befriended the Philistine. Esau has always been in control. Alexander the Great was a son of Esau. Esau in the Bible is referred to as Edom, red. You know, they're reds. They're communist, socialist, Satanists. Idumea and Mount Zaire. When you see these 3, that's what God is talking about. And judgment is to come upon Esau. You will be told that Esau is Rome. You will be told that Esau is the white man, and the white man hates the black man, and you will hear from the black man that they believe that they are Israelites. There's no way that the black man is an Israelite. No way. First of all, the 2 children were white. Okay? Rebekah and Isaac did not give birth to a black child and a white child. They were both white, but Esau mixed his seed. And so Esau is the red man, and Jacob is white. Read Lamentations 4. It's all about my dearly beloved white, white-skinned like rubies. Okay? Jacob, Israel, was told that he would be a blessing to the whole world. Why? Because he brought the world the Bible. He translated it. The English did. The English and the Scotch and the Irish were missionaries. They were Christians. Of course, Ireland was taken over by Catholicism, which is Luciferian worship, serpent worship. You see, the forces that should not be want to stamp out the seed of Jacob, Israel. And anyhow, so Jacob would be a blessing. We brought the world the Bible, our ancestors did. We were the missionaries our ancestors were that were slaughtered by the Catholic Church at the behest of Esau. Esau is the driving force behind the wickedness in the world, behind the new world order, behind the money, which is going to disappear soon, and we're just going to have blockchain. And it's going to be very dire. But Messiah told us, keep the faith till the end, endure and overcome, and then you will receive the crown of life. We can do all things through Christ, who strengthens us. This is true. And only those who endure and overcome the mark of the beast. What's happening now is the world powers, the world forces are conjuring the beast. And when the beast comes, the Christian church is going to say it's Christ. It's the millennial reign of Christ. And the whole world will follow after the beast. But it's the beast going to prefer his mark. And then when the abomination of desolation stands in the holy place where it ought not, Jesus Christ will return in wrath, and then the great white throne judgment will ensue.